The devil is an opportunist, and very often he will move in on those emotionally wounded people. He will grab onto the wound, and he'll make it much, much worse. The infection will become serious if not treated. What do? Look, our fallen nature is also an enemy that we have to contend with. But very often, wounded people, especially emotionally, psychologically wounded people, become very vulnerable to the work of the enemy. And he moves in on these areas of woundedness. For instance, you may have a wound of rejection. I'll guarantee you that many a social misfit, many a criminal, many a mass murderer, at one point in time was rejected in some way. Now, you say, well, no big deal, we all experience that. Well, maybe you experienced it worse, but what happens? The devil, the demonic forces move in, grab onto that wounded area, and they exacerbate the problem. They make it worse. Imagine you get a wound, you get shot in a battle at war. You have a wound in your arm. You know, the bullet takes off part of your arm. That's a wounded area, obviously. What happens? Well, maybe germs move in, right? Maybe certain bacteria move into that wound. You get an infection, right? You get a cut or wound, you can get an infection, right? Normally, if you don't bleed to death, the cut or the wound isn't going to kill you, but the infection might. The devil moves in on those emotionally wounded areas very often. Depression, anxiety. He grabs onto that wound and pushes it to an extreme. And you have extremely disturbed people. The world is filled with emotionally disturbed people, and many of them have a problem that is not merely emotional. It is emotional, but not only emotional or psychological, it is also demonic. It is not always either or. The two are not necessarily mutually exclusive. The devil is an opportunist, and very often he will move in on those emotionally wounded people. He will grab onto the wound, and he'll make it much, much worse. The infection will become serious if not treated. What do?